So, it's my week. My time to tell a tale.
Tell a tale.
Tell a tale.
Karen's telling the story.
I am. So, we've heard of Boonville, Missouri.
Yes, I have.
It's on I-70.
Mm-hmm.
I always passed it heading over to my grandma's house,
Yeah,
who
it's
lived near St. Louis.
it's by Columbia, Missouri, which is like in the middle of Missouri. Mizzou is in Columbia. Big college town.
Yeah, but Boonville itself is a small town.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I knew. Besides the giant tower that said Boonville, I always knew because there was a shoe store, a boot store actually, that's like on the side. I'm like, oh, we're going by Boonville. Boonville boots. Okay.
I just read the giant water tower that says Boonville and has a pirate on it. Because I guess somewhere there's a high school and there's pirates.
That would make sense. There's so many schools with pirates.
Or buccaneers.
Anyway, so my turn to tell a tale. And it takes place in Boonville about 20 years ago, actually, in 2002. It's a double homicide.
Yeah, that's not good.
Yeah, and it's actually the first of its kind in the town, really. They've had murder and homicide before, but apparently it was 20 years prior to the events that happened in 2002.
Yeah, well, I guess.
So it's a small, safe town that doesn't really have a lot of crime and murder. So, I mean, that's what you get. Usually, I don't really hear a lot of stories about small towns having murder.
No, unless it gets, national news.
Yeah.
It's like, oh,
that happened.
oh, God.
Oh. Let's just get into it.
Okay.
Janice Owen was a widowed 43-year-old mother of two who worked as a nurse's aide at Riverside Care Center in Boonville, Missouri. It was a typical Monday in February. Janice was reported to leave work at her usual time of 2:15 p.m.
The night shift or
mid-morning shift.
Early morning.
Early morning.
I don't know. It's still dark.
It's still dark.
February.
That's not dark. It's
in the morning.
When she leaves for work.
Yes. And then it's light now.
It's light now. And that was on February 12th, 2002. Okay. She walked home, which is just about a block from our home, so she really didn't have to take her car anywhere. It's nice to walk when you can go to work. Although I would not do that in the cold, even if it was a block away.
No.
I'd be like, nope. Her 8-year-old daughter, Alyssa, was heading home from school on this bus about an hour later.
Okay.
She was actually alone on the bus, which was rare. She usually rode with her older brother. But her older brother was dropped off earlier at the babysitter's house. I read 2 different stories that the brother was sick, so he went home to the babysitter since the mom was working. Or she stayed after.
Okay.
And she was doing stuff. But if school got out, if she got home at 2:15, Janice, if she got home at 2:15 or left work for 2:15, an hour later, that's 3:15. She couldn't really stay late that much longer.
No.
So I'm just kind of like, okay. The bus driver dropped her off at the house and saw her walk in through the door. Janice's mother, Alyssa's grandmother, stopped by the house around 5 p.m. that day to visit, hang out, see how everyone's doing. But Janice and Alyssa were nowhere to be seen.
Weird.
Yeah. That's what she said. I noticed that Alyssa's coat and school backpack were on the couch, and it looked like things were taken out, but it's a kid, so, you come home, throw your stuff off, get naked, and just throw it everywhere. So, it could have just been, left haphazardly or something.
Children run around naked in the house.
Exactly. That's how we knew my brother was home from school. As a child, and I'm talking to you, Lukey, he would, start stripping off at the front door, just taking all the layers off, and he would go into the kitchen and make himself a giant sandwich. And, this happened up until high school. He just wanted to be comfortable.
What, did he wear a suit to school?
He would get down to, seriously, just his boxers.
Okay. I would change because I wore a uniform every day. I mostly just took off my skirt or jumper with how I was wearing. I still had my polo shirt on and shorts because I'm lazy. And I'm like, it's comfy. I don't care.
Anyway, yeah. So, weird brother.
Aren't they all?
Without them being there, grandmother left. She left a note saying that, she stopped by and I'll be back later and all that jazz. The Owens neighbor noticed strange activity actually going on in the house. about 6 p.m. So about an hour after the grandma left, she started noticing weird things going on over at the house. First, she noticed that there was a man and a woman on the porch. The man looked a lot younger, and he was wearing a red baseball cap. There was a green pickup truck parked outside the house. About 15 minutes after she noticed the man and the woman in the truck, she noticed that there was a 4-door white van parked going the wrong way on the opposite side of the road with a suspicious man standing next to it.
It wasn't the same man.
She couldn't really tell if it was the same man, but she said he looked strange and suspicious, like he was no good.
Well, he was parked on the wrong side of the road. I mean,
right.
He's already doing no good.
First off, why would you do that? If
his asshole.
Even if it's like a dead end, right? You can just turn around in someone's driveway and go the right way. Like, why would you park on the wrong side of the road?
He wants to be a dick. People do that, or maybe he's from England. I don't know.
Yeah, so she couldn't tell who the guy was. It was dark. I mean, it's 6 p.m. in February in Missouri.
It gets dark. So dark.
So dark, so fast.
Isn't it like 4:30?
Something like that. And then it's also, dark. So that's one thing I hate about living in Missouri is when I get ready for work, it's dark. And then when I'm coming home, it's dark.
Yeah, some days I don't see the sun, which is good for me. I'm pale. But sometimes I'm like, I kind of miss the sun.
We need our vitamin D.
Yeah, well, that's why I drink milk. Or does that have C in it?
C. It's calcium.
It doesn't have D in it, though.
Some do.
No.
I think it depends on what you drink. Drink some orange juice.
Yeah, I do like orange juice. But I like my milk.
Or take, vitamin D
I do.
pills.
I take my vitamins.
I take some vitamins.
My mother yelled at me, like, were you taking your vitamins? I'm like, yes, Mom, because I like broke a nail at home. And I'm like, yes, I take them every day.
Yes, I'm taking my vitamins.
I take my gummy vitamins. I kind of miss the Flintstone vitamins.
I do too, but I don't think they really were. Like, I think it was getting us ready for vitamins. Like, I was looking at it. There was the content you can get, honestly, from drinking milk as a kid.
Well, then I didn't need the Flintstone vitamins, Mother.
My mom gave it to me, too. So
well, you had issues with milk.
I did have issues with milk. I'm lactose, so it's just like, no. So the following morning in Lafayette, which is about another town 12 miles away from Boonville, 3 workers from a local sawmill saw what they thought to be a mannequin laying on the side of the road. Turned out to be, very sadly, a body of a little girl, of Alyssa.
Oh, poor girl. Poor baby.
When police went to make the notification to Janice, she was nowhere to be seen. Suspicious.
Where could she be?
Autopsy reported Alyssa died from suffocation.
Oh, God.
Police believe that not only was Janice missing, but she was also the prime suspect of this.
I mean, it makes sense. Parents always first one question about, anything children related.
I guess. I'm still, on the fence about that, though, because I'm like, if no one's heard from her and her daughter's dead, why are you looking at her? Like, I would be like, something's going on with the mom. It's a devastating murder that just happened. And the first suspect is the mom. I don't know. It just feels so off to me.
I mean, I think they were going, by textbook. You always look at the parents first and try to exonerate them. They're good. We don't have to look at them anymore, kind of thing. But since she gone, they're like, where is she? We need to make sure she didn't do this. Maybe she did do this. We don't know.
I guess.
So, and it's frustrating. I get why you would.
I just don't like it.
Yeah.
So, even family and friends said that Janice loved Alyssa. She, she would do anything for her. She adored her. And that there was absolutely no motive whatsoever that anyone would think she didn't have life insurance on her. They never had an argument.
Yeah.
I mean, there was just there's no reason. Janice, besides being a nurse's aide, she had a very sweet disposition. She wasn't the one who would cause any harm to anyone.
So did her family and friends ask the police, why aren't you trying? Are you assuming that she ran away, or it's did they believe that she was missing as well? Someone.
Yeah, Yeah. So reports are like her family did believe that she was missing, and there were missing posters put out. But at the same time, like, police didn't put out a BOLO for a missing person. They put out a BOLO for a prime suspect trying to find Janice.
I mean, they're a small town. I get it, and they may have tried to do textbook, but in a sense, they're kind of naive about solving cases, especially kind of a big case that this is gonna be.
I mean, yeah, this is a big case. A waste disposal worker earlier that morning of Alyssa's body being found saw a green pickup truck on the side of the road around the same area Alyssa's body was found.
Okay.
The worker says that he couldn't tell what was inside of the truck, but he knew there was something inside the truck. He couldn't tell if it was like a body. He says that he's pretty sure it was a body, but he couldn't tell for sure. He's like, I honestly can't. And he indicates that he actually drove by minutes before seeing the green truck right in that area. There was no body there. He would have saw it on, a body. Yeah. I mean, it's a big truck that he's in. Yeah. I'm guessing dumped truck, honestly. It just says waste disposal. He's like, there, and he was very adamant about it. He was like, there was nobody there before. I would have called. I would have let you guys know. Was this the same green pickup truck that the neighbor saw? Was the question that the police were asking.
It's a good question to ask.
It is a very good one. The police called in other law enforcement agencies from St. Louis, Columbia, and Kansas City to assist the investigation. So not just police offices and departments, but like the FBI was called in.
Okay. They're good. They know what to do.
Right? They've handled cases like this. So let's get some people in.
Yeah. Have them do their job.
Right?
May take a while.
Speaking of that, on March 27th, which is about 6 weeks after Alyssa was found, Janice's body was discovered. She was found in a creek bed 12 miles away from where Alyssa was found. Janice's autopsy revealed her time of death was around the same time as Alyssa's. So it was actually within a 2-hour window. They couldn't really identify the actual time of Alyssa's, but they put it in a window just like they did Janice's, and it said at the same time, pretty much. So I think it was like early, or late, however you say it, but it was same 2-hour window. Police questioned why Janice's body was hidden, such as it was in a creek bed that was in forest in a wooded area, which was hard to find. It was her body was decomposed. It was exposed to the elements after 6 weeks of being there.
Yeah.
It was found by hunters. Why Alyssa's was found pretty much the following morning of her death.
Yeah. On
the side of the road.
I don't know why they would, basically show off. I don't know if show off's the right word, but Alyssa's body, basically like,
we toss this one here,
and so
and then we'll go hide this one.
Yeah.
Under some, not under, but in a creek bed.
Yeah, it had to take some effort to go, all the way out
get
there.
To it. Yeah. Like,
why not hide both of them in the woods?
Right.
Did you want them to find the child?
The only thing I can think of is the killer's thought ahead, saying, "Hey, the mother might be, the suspect. So let's hide her," and so it throws people off the trail. That's the only thing I can think of right now. Like, there's no, really, I'm still baffled. Be like, why would you freaking put two people that you kill at the same time? Why would you put their bodies in different locations?
Well, what you said, it kind of makes sense. Like, it kind of, directs the attention away from them. Killers.
The killers.
Killers. From, So that makes sense. I agree.
Okay. Initially, authorities believed that Janice's fiance was actually responsible for the murders. There was, it wasn't domestic abuse or anything, but, there was some suspicions on things, like yelling and stuff. You yell in relationships. You do. You just gotta know when not to. Yeah,
it becomes violent.
Right. Like, there's a difference between, having an argument, yelling and screaming, and then, death. Like, they're kind of, polar opposites.
Yes.
So, chill. But his alibi was proved that he was innocent. Besides working, he went to the bar after, is what it said. And it had CCTV. So he was there, and they had it at the times of death. Yeah. Janice also talked to a few men online. It's 2002. AOL chat room. Big thing. Big thing.
Yeah.
I did it.
I didn't.
I did. I mean,
I was 10.
I was a young teenager. I was 13.
Fancy Karen.
I like to pretend I think my name was like Monique. And I was a 17-year-old girl from Hawaii. That's what I would put, because you did ASL, so age, sex, location. 16, female, Hawaii. I would go Honolulu sometimes.
I thought you were 17.
17, whatever. Yeah.
I didn't do that.
But see, I never said exactly wherever I was. I always said I was in a different place than I was in Kansas City, because, my mommy taught me well.
Now we tell them on the YouTube where we are.
Yeah. It's fine.
Find us here.
Find us, we're here.
Kill us now.
It's okay, we've got protection. It's fine.
Yeah. We're crazy.
Yeah, we are. But all the men that she talked to online, they were cleared.
Okay.
And not just because, they were in different locations throughout the whole United States, maybe the world. And it was more than, it was like close to 12, I feel like they said. It was like a dozen. Mm-hmm. So, good on you, Janice. Talking online, doing things.
Yeah, it's a small town, it's hard to meet new people.
Friends online are great.
Yes.
I mean, I don't really have friends. I don't like people. So.
She tolerates me.
I do.
She wants my money.
Need it. I mean, rent. The police believe their prime suspect would be unidentified man and woman was seen on the porch by the neighbor.
I would agree.
Right? I mean, the neighbor seems like she is a reliable witness.
Yeah.
So I would be like, yeah, that's true. Police actually questioned the neighbor numerous times, trying to see if that woman on the porch was Janice. Janice apparently lived there for a little while, so they never really met officially, so the neighbor didn't know her that well, so she couldn't identify if that was Janice or not on the porch.
Was the neighbor new to the area, or has she been there longer than Janice?
It didn't really say. It just said that, Janice lived there for a while, but they didn't really know each other that well.
Okay.
But other friends and family and other neighbors said that, Janice and Alyssa were really sweet and nice people that lived there. It was a nice little family that they had. So the unidentified people on the porch were never found. And the case actually ended up going cold for a while. There was no leads. They were investigating, but not really. I mean, it's a cold case in a small town.
They didn't have any leads.
They didn't have any leads
to investigate.
In June of that year, so 2002, a caller called in a tip to the police saying that Janice's coworker, Angela Mees, age 25, had some information about the murders. Right.
So, she was gossiping Angela, and do we know who the tip? I assume we don't know.
So the tipper was anonymous.
Yeah.
But apparently Angela was saying stuff that made the tipper be like, that's suspicious. Like, what's going on? Don't know.
Well, good on the tipper for being like, I'm gonna call.
Right, I'm gonna let the police know what's going on. Police brought in Angela and questioned her, and it was kind of like a standard. She's like, I don't really know anything, and then they said, hey, we have a tip that you know more than you're letting on. You need to talk to us. And then she admitted that her husband, 18-year-old Eric Mees, had killed Janice and Alyssa. She first admitted that she was only a witness. She's like, I only saw him kill him. I didn't want him to. And then eventually she's like, no, I participated in the murders. Yeah. So they were both arrested and charged with 2 accounts for first-degree murder. Authorities searched their home. They found items that belonged to Alyssa, including a button missing from her dress and buckles from her shoes. I didn't really want to talk about it because it's very heartbreaking. It wrenches my heart just thinking about it. Alyssa was found clothed, but disheveled. things were kind of like askewed, and the autopsy did show signs of assault in a sexual nature.
Okay.
Yeah. Police believe that Angela and Eric were the couple that the neighbors saw on the porch.
Makes sense.
Especially from the description, they found a red baseball cap too in their house.
Mm-hmm.
The man, they could tell, was younger than the woman, and obviously an 18-year-old looks younger than a 25-year-old. So
I find that questionable. People think I look 21.
Same. People think I'm younger than 30.
Yeah.
So they admitted that they killed Alyssa for sexual gratification, and they killed Janice because she was a witness. So the plan was to abduct Alyssa, and that didn't go to plan. Ended up abducting both Janice and Alyssa. Both pled guilty to 2 counts of first-degree murder and were sentenced to life in prison with no possibility for parole. Eric is at Jefferson Correctional, obviously in Jefferson City, Missouri, and Angela is at Chillicothe Correctional Center. Janice and Alyssa's case was aired on Nightmare Next Door on September 1st, 2011. And it was actually it was on air in like the local news, because they actually ended up shooting it in Boonville. So I guess bringing, stuff to that little town.
Yeah, good economy a boost for a little town, but under sad circumstances.
Very sad. The name of that episode is actually Heartless in the Heartland, and that's like right to the heart. But yeah.
So they both specifically wanted to take Alyssa?
So since she was the co-worker of Janice,
yes,
and he was the husband of Angela, he apparently saw Alyssa at the care center. But I mean, it's a small town, so they probably saw each other throughout town, walking around. But he wanted her, and it said they both wanted her for sexual gratification. So it's not saying that he just did things to her. Mm-hmm. It's making it sound like they both did, which is sick and wrong.
Unfortunately, it happens. There are cases that...
Yeah, so this was actually supposed to be one of our first cases that we did, but I kept pushing it off just because I'm like, I can't. It's heart-wrenching.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, I just gotta do it.
Rip the Band-Aid, Karen.
Just rip it off. But, so yeah, that's the case of Janice and Alyssa Owen. They are both buried together in a cemetery with sharing a headstone. I thought that was sweet.
Mm-hmm. Well, I'm glad the family got answers and justice in a sense.
Mm-hmm.
And hopefully, Janice and Alyssa are at peace and they're together.
Mm-hmm.
I feel bad for the son who got, left behind. They destroyed, a family.
He's orphaned because both of his parents are dead.
Yeah.
And, so is his sister. So it's just kind of like, oh my gosh, poor kid.
Yeah. Well, hopefully this will, empower him to maybe help fight against crazy people, or, be an advocate for something. And, you just have to celebrate their life, celebrate your life.
Mm-hmm.
He's probably in his 20s by now.
Yeah. It's probably, anywhere from your age to mine, honestly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
20s.
In
30s,
his 20s, 20s to 30s.
Well, hopefully he's, is happy and thinks of his sister and mom fondly. Yeah, remember the good times.
Right, for sure.
Karen's sad.
I am sad. Children cases always get to me. All these cases do, but the children ones I'm always like...
They're the most innocent. It's like there's no need.
Exactly. Like, why? Why would you do this to a child?
Unless the child's evil. But
even evil children need love. So it's just like...
Sometimes those children need help.
Yeah.
They need more love.
They do. We're almost done, guys. One more episode.
Yeah. Next week will be our final episode of our No Murder, No Crime
season.
Thanks for watching, guys. Thank you. Like, subscribe, comment, all fun things
down below.
Yeah.
All right.
Hope you enjoy.
Bye.
Bye.